Hey, I know I'm not the only one that struggles with the Canon Camera Connect app. You probably do too. But great news, Canon has released an update, version 3 or something like that, and it's out now. Okay, so when I saw that the latest Canon Camera Connect app had been released, I was pretty excited because if you know me, I'm not a great fan of the app. I mean, I use it every day, but sometimes I find it a little bit clunky and cumbersome and doesn't quite work, doesn't quite connect. There can be a lot of going back and forth between the camera and the device to try and get it to even connect. So it can be a real hassle, but I mean, it is a convenient and available way to transfer photographs from your camera to your phone. And also the remote shooting aspect of the app can be quite useful. I use it. So I jumped on the App Store and I looked at what it said. What's new? Added support for new Canon cameras, EOS R6 Mark II, of course. Renewed design. Nice. Improved coordination with various services. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I guess it could be to do with the DPP Express app that Canon has, which doesn't have great reviews. I don't use it. Image.Canon. It could have improved integration with Image.Canon, which is good news. That's good if you use it. That's good. I don't use Image.Canon. At one point they came out saying they were going to discontinue Image.Canon, so I got a bit confused over that. And you can also print with Selfie, the Selfie photo printer. So that's cool if you've got a Selfie printer. Improved coordination with those services. It also said improved camera connection settings. Now that's the part I was interested in because you may well know it's really difficult to connect to Canon Camera Connect app. I mean, maybe I'm overplaying that a bit. It's difficult to understand how to get into it or to connect to start with. I mean, for me now, I know a couple of tips which I'm going to share with you that helps the connection process. But I was really excited to see that it had improved camera connection settings. I mean, one thing that I really would love to see is always on Bluetooth type connectivity, something like AirDrop. I mean, this whole Wi-Fi Bluetooth thing, it should just basically be you turn on your camera, you turn on your phone, and you can AirDrop them, similar to how iOS does it. I mean, it's just such a pain-free, painless way of transferring photos from one iPhone to another iPhone. Why couldn't it be from my camera to my iPhone just like that? Why? Anyhow, so straight away I downloaded the new update for the Canon Camera Connect app. And what did I notice? Well, I'll show you. I did notice that it had an improved design. And you can choose light mode, dark mode. It looks more flash. It looks nicer. It looks more modern. It looks updated. It looks like a new version. You can see your cameras at the top. There they are. You just swipe left and right, ready to connect. Even though they are up there and it is quite flash, that doesn't really add a lot because it's always only relative to the camera you're connecting. So the previous versions of the Canon Camera Connect app would recognize your camera and connect to it over the Wi-Fi. That's how it worked. But now there they are. There's a picture of my cameras. Well, that one's not right because that camera is white, the one I've got, but it's black in here. Okay, and then it had the function for import images and remote live view shooting. And here's where it becomes a bit of the emperor's new clothes. Because once you do connect and once you do get in to import images from your camera or to remote live view shooting, I didn't notice anything different. Yeah, it's got a new paint job up the front, but you open the door and look inside and everything's still the same. And to me, that's not really a redesign. Yeah, sure, it's got a new facade, but that might be all it is, a facade. And I'll be interested in your experiences with the new version of the Canon Camera Connect app. Of course, let me know below. I really want to see more functionality and more ease in the connectivity, more strength in the connectivity, so it doesn't drop out so regularly. I want to see more speed in the connectivity. I mean, it takes forever to download raw files from your camera to the phone, but the main way I transfer photos from my camera to a device, mainly my PC, is to pull the card out and plug it into a card reader. And you know, that is not new, that is not modern, that is standard practice and it's been around forever. Why we have to still be pulling cards and plugging cards in that, I'm not too sure. I know I can buy more expensive cameras with better connectivity or even wireless transfer modules and that sort of thing, but I don't want to do that. I want to use the app, which they offer. Okay, so the bottom line of this video is just to let you know that, yep, there's some window dressing. There's a new shop window display, but once you step into the store, once you start looking around at the stock, at the goods, everything's more or less the same. Well, look, the Canon Camera Connect app does get a bit of a rough time. It's got millions and millions and millions of downloads, but it doesn't have millions and millions of great reviews. It's got lots of bad reviews. But there are a couple of things that can make it easier on you to connect and use this app, to make it less frustrating and more functional for you. And these are just things that I do that you might want to try as well. The first thing I do is when I'm connecting to the Canon Camera Connect app, I connect up the Wi-Fi first, and once I can see it's connected on my device, I then open the app. And this is the point, we just need to be patient. So what I do is I just take a few more seconds and just give it a bit more time to form that connection. The main thing I'm looking for is on the screen of my camera for it to say connection established. That is the key that you now have a live connection between the camera and the Canon Camera Connect app on your device. The other thing I do when I'm downloading RAW files is maybe I just select a handful, or I select 5 or 6 or 12, but I certainly don't go through and download 20, 30, 50, 100, because what you're doing is increasing the risk of that connection crashing out while you're downloading, which is a pain, because then you've got to work out which ones downloaded, which ones didn't. Okay, now I've got to go back in and do all the selections again. So what I recommend in regards to that is just select a handful, select a few, download those, then go back in, make new selections. And I know this seems a little long-winded as well. It just reduces the likelihood of that connection crashing out. With that being said, one thing I have noticed is that you can connect to the camera directly from the app. It prompts you to join the Wi-Fi network, and then it is actually pretty quickly once you go through that process. You just have to give it a bit of time to connect. So yes, I guess that is an improved camera connection setting. Thanks, Canon. Good work. It's actually pretty good. I give the Canon Camera Connect app a hard time because in this day and age, we do expect so much from these applications. We expect them to be smooth and seamless and easy and functional and feature-filled and all of those things. And in reality, it's not really quite there yet. As I say, once you pull the curtain and have a look behind, you're gonna see the old dirty, dusty janitor's closet. Nothing really new. It still works the way it always hasn't, or the way it always has, whatever the case may be for you. I know it's really, really frustrating, and I really feel for you if you're one of the ones that does struggle with it. But like I say, my two main tips: take your time, give it time to establish a connection, and then just download a handful of RAWs at a time. If you're accustomed to downloading the JPEGs, you're probably not gonna have too much trouble because they download much, much quicker than the RAWs. But yeah, as I say, small batches. Don't put too much pressure on the app. Don't give it too much time to crash out on you, and you should be sweet. When it comes to the remote live shooting function, which I use a lot less, I find it's quite annoying because once you connect, the orientation of the screen doesn't match the orientation of the camera. You actually have to tap a couple of icons in order to rotate the image 90 degrees each time. So it would be nice if it was a wee bit more intuitive like that, but I'm not exactly sure how they'd do that without having accelerometers in the camera itself. Hey, anyway, that's it. I've probably been waffling on way too long. You've already clicked off. You're not in here. No one's here. Everyone's gone home. It's just me, so I may as well bugger off. Thanks so much for watching. Have an awesome afternoon, day, night, week, weekend, month. Hey, why not the whole year? We'll catch you next time. Bye.